Were you ever in Quebec, stowing timber on a deck, where there's a king with a golden crown, riding on a donkey? Hee-ho, away we go, donkey riding, hee-ho, away we go, riding on a donkey. The first phrase of donkey riding has our new rhythm in it. Let's take a look. Were you ever in Quebec? And if we look at note lengths and sounds per beat, we can also sing it as long, short, toddy, toddy, ta. Okay, we know that when we have one sound on a beat, the red one, we call it a ta. And then when we have two sounds in a beat, and now we have to specify two equal sounds in a beat, we have toddy. On the first beat, we have two sounds, but they are not equal. They are long, short. The way we say it on rhythm syllables is ta-me, and the rhythmic notation is a dotted eighth note 16th pattern. To better understand how dots work in music, I think we should meet my Uncle Dot. Oh, hey, Uncle Dot. So, he's rich, and whenever I go over to his house, he gives me money. So I have to plan ahead. If I take $1 over there, he will give me half of $1, which is 50 cents. But he doesn't really give me 50 cents in quarters. He gives me a 50-cent piece. So $1 plus 50 cents is $1.50. See how that works? But knowing that he's going to give me half of what I already have, I'm not just taking $1 over there. I'm going to take over $500. Half of 500 is $100, $250. And when you add 500 plus 250, you get $750. That's what I'm talking about, Uncle Dot. Okay, but in the interest of the dotted 8 16th pattern, let's say I spent all my money and all I have is 50 cents. All right, half of 50 cents is 25 cents. And when you add 50 plus 25 cents, you get 75 cents, which is actually 3/4 of a dollar. Here we have a single eighth note. That's half of a toddy. And half of a toddy is worth half of a beat. Now, when you add the dot, you're adding half of a half, which is 1/4. And when you add 1/2 plus 1/4, you get 3/4, or 3/4 of a beat. Get it? Dotted eighth notes are most commonly seen hanging out with single 16th notes. That means 1/4 of a takadimi. And you can make them look like that with their little curly hair, but usually you find them beamed together like that. And they are exactly the same thing. When you put them like that, the dotted eighth plus the 16th note equal one whole beat. I wonder if you could do a little bit of Uncle Dot's math on a Schoology assessment. Hopefully you have found yourself in a place where you can click on the blue puzzle piece, dotted 8 16th review and practice 1. It says here, a dot adds half of whatever note comes before it. Use this information to drag the correct number of beats, or fractions of a beat, to the dotted box. Remember, a whole note, that's that circle with no stem, equals 4 beats. A half note, that's the open note head with a stem, equals 2 beats. A quarter note, a closed note head with one stem, equals 1 beat. And an eighth note, that's the ta with a flag, equals half of a beat. Start attempt. Okay, so my choices are over on the left. At the top I have a dotted quarter, then a dotted half, then a dotted whole, then a dotted eighth. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 choices to drag into the boxes. That means you won't use some of the choices. So think very closely. You've got the information at the top to help you. I'm not going to do any of these, but I will remind you that it would be so cool if you could just touch it and then touch the box you want it to go in. By the way, look at that one and then look at that one. There's 1.5 and then there's just 1/2. Make sure you know which one you're choosing. Once you have dragged a value into each of the dotted boxes, which are right now blue, then touch review and finish. And yes. And then when you refresh, chances are you're going to get 100. When I refresh, I'm going to get a big fat 0 because I didn't answer any of them. But I bet you can do this.